started.
Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast where we are going to explore how cutting edge technology is transforming software development. I'm your host Ruhi, and and today we will discuss about generative AI. And here we are not just talking about ChatGPT that is helping us to write emails or poems. We will see how it it is reshaping full stack and mobile development from architecture to deployment. So we have our experts here who have been at the forefront of this revolution. There's Kapil Jain, fractional CTO, helping startups scale intelligently with AI, and there is Vivek, head of engineering, architecting systems where AI isn't just a feature but the backbone. So let's get um, into the podcast. So, Kapil and Vivek, seen AI generated code snippets, but how is it changing the building of full stack apps at a foundational level?
Uh, Definitely, Ruhi, thanks for having me. So it's a paradigm shift with, with coming of generative AI. So we are moving for writing our logic in a source code to orchestrating AI agent, which means that in the front end, AI generate the UI dynamically based on the user intent. Like for example, think about a marketing website where you want to generally generate a website and generally you generally mention that okay what type of feature you need, and all the things would be available using Gen AI. Then in the backend you generally create a model API where it optimize the queries, optimize the database type and all kind of things. And in fact in the testing, I remember those days in which we generally have to create end-to-end test cases and JE test cases, but these days those are being created automatically. So you can use AI to create those end-to-end test cases, and at the same time you can have a performance testing by running those multiple AI agent for your performance testing.
Yeah, and it's not just about the speed, it's about the scope. With these AI tools, you need not have to have the like a dozen of people working on the same project. So in the my last project, which is the most recent project, we used to have only three people team, and we have built a conversational commerce where users can actually talk to the products without requiring any mm, clicks here and there. Just converse with the products, trying to get more recommendation, more personalized recommendations, and in fact it's the agent is such smart that it not only recommend the products which user is asking, but also based on uh, the other things that user might intend to purchase it. So for example, in case of let's say user is asking to buy something for adventure trip, so not just uh, like getting the recommendation for the backpacks, it actually suggests the whole gears what is required for the type of adventure trip that user wants to go. So agent keeps asking the question like where what exactly you are want to do in your adventure trip, then what kind of place there is, it a colder environment, is it a hotter environment, and everything. So in such cases the entire UI is generated dynamically based on the users responses, and the products which it recommends is a whole, rather than just a recommendation of a similar type of things. It recommends a variety of equipment gears which is required uh, in to enjoy the adventure trip at most. So that is really a fascinating thing, and that we have developed with just three engineers. in our team, and it automatically tries to we haven't made any much changes in the backend itself. It's the AI agent itself can make the necessary queries to the recommendation engine. It automatically analyzes the results and curate the final outcome uh, before delivering to the user. So that was really fascinating.
Okay, that's some interesting work. So what's your toolkit to make generative AI actionable for the developers?
Can we move to the I mean, two slides more?
Sorry.
Third slide. And the next one. All right. So, I mean, for startup, I normally recommend that we should have a low code AI. I mean, rather than really investing time on writing a code, we should take a help from AI and then really get those modules done in a quick time. Okay. For example, for Firebase AI extension, we can add a chatbot or document analyzer in a minute. I mean, you have the facility to generally maybe get the data, get the document that you have, and run a chat over it, so that if you have any query or regarding the document, you can quickly find out the things using these AI chatbot. For example, in generative AI, we generally use multiple framework. For example, one of the framework is LangChain, which generally glue together all the pieces that we have in the generative AI. For example, it generally glue the LLM, the large language model, then the API and the database without any custom pipelines. Third example is about Olama, right, which is a very lightweight LLM, and you can run this particular model, Olama or Mistral, on your local machine, and you can generally uh, run that particular model on your private document without exposing it on over the internet.
Yeah, and enterprise needs observability. So for uh, while creating a large system, it's quite possible that these AI agents can fail at any point of time. So we are using ML flow, which is generally utilized to track the model version alongside with code deploy. Then the Gradio, Streamlit are the some of the tools which is quite quick in building a prototype. Then the neural magic is used for the optimizing the models so that we can run on the CPUs, and it can really like save around 80% of the cloud cost. Apart from that, Langsmith is also in our bucket, which we use to understand how the people is engaging with our bots, and what the intermediate results which our agents are giving, so that we analyze the our prompts, we refine our prompts, and give a better fine tune our overall agent performance based on that.
All right. And as you've already mentioned, prompt engineering. So, can we have an example of the production ready prompt, if possible?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Can you, yeah, this is the structure that generally we use for customer support. Like you can clearly, uh, uh, I mean, see that we generally mention that you are a friendly assistant for any product. I mean, for example, if it is a suppose it's an iPhone, right, or maybe generally any particular mobile device. Then we add some rules that okay, you never suggest refund. I mean, refund if the customer is asking for refund, it should redirect to the human being, and if the response should be concise so that it is easily understood by the customer. And then there's a context which is like, I mean, we generally remember three historical messages plus the plan that the user have. So these kind of a prompt will help to create a chatbot, and which can really eliminate the manual process apart from the refund part.
Yeah, and one more thing I would like to add here. It, sometimes what happen, uh, personally I experienced that it's quite harder sometimes to create a ideal prompt. So what we generally do, we create a base prompt, and then we create another agent which actually improve these prompts. So when we keep interacting with the users, we get to know more about the users, and it personalize that prompt on the fly. That will help to create an enhanced user experience and better customer satisfaction.
Okay, so that's quite informative. So Vivek, my question to you is that what that in generative AI, what should developers prepare for? What's new in this field?
Okay, so one of the uh, popular buzz going these days is the vibe coding. You know that there are a lot of coding assistants available in the market, which are quite helpful. It reduces around 30 to 40% of our coding effort, and the even the frameworks which like the Next.js and all other frameworks. These are like changing the way we used to code earlier. Uh, they are providing inbuilt AI tools, and so that they can produce generative UI content on the fly. Then their on-device support is also keep going increasing. There are small LLMs which are available in the market, which are not having a very huge billions of like multi-billions, hundreds of billions of parameters, just like few 10 to 15 billions of parameters, and these can easily be run on the edge devices. So Apple has their MLX, and Android has its AI core framework, which are popular for these devices. Then there are self-healing apps which automatically detects if there any issue in the UI UX, and dynamically change the UI based on the user preferences.
Okay, so that's a lot of things. So now, how should engineers skill up for all of these things that you have mentioned?
Yeah. So one thing that I think we engineers needs to focus on is the AI DevOps. So right now, everyone is quite like enthusiastic, and and they are focusing on the prototypes. But how to scale it to the production is still requires some learning curve. Then how we can fine tune these models, how to create embeddings. Embeddings is actually a quite challenging, especially if when it comes to retrieve useful information in the RAG based architecture. So that is something that engineers has to learn. Then ethical AI, again, there we have found various issues where LLM hallucinate and provide some objectionable content. So that needs a better strategy, better planning to to introduce guardrails from the beginning itself, so that the end user customer should never. There are many other tools which help in tracking the uh, current AI systems, so that we can like monitor whatever is happening in the behind the scene, and so that we can reproduce it, and we can manage the overall. We can better control the overall agent system with these tools. Yeah, so these tools also require some learning curve, which I think engineers should focus on.
Okay, thank you for your insights. So now, Kapil, my next question is for you. That for the developers who are just starting with AI, so what should be the step one for them?
Uh, the first step is that they need to really co-pilot themselves. For example, if there is a CLI tool that explains the bash command in plain English, then of course I remember that we used to have a Figma initially, and then we generally translate that Figma to React or AngularJS framework. But now there is a plugin which generally convert all those Figma directly into the React code. So that really eliminate a lot of efforts, extra effort from the developer point of view. And generally start to use OpenAI and Mistral or maybe Llama 3 or maybe Grow for DeepSeek to generally improve the productivity of the developer.
Um, all right. Okay. So now, so my next question is that with AI has its benefits, it has some issues also. So how do we prevent sensitive data leaks when using generative AI in enterprise applications? Hel-
Um, Kapil, you want to answer?
Yeah. So, Ruhi, there are, I mean, this is the latency. I think. Can you move to the next slide?
Sure. Sir.
Yeah. So, so the thing is here is that there are like three battle tested rules. Okay. One is that you redact and then you process. You generally strip all the data that is, sensitive. For example, you have a PI data. Uh, then you would be using tools like Presidio before any API call. That means that you are ensuring that no sensitive data or or user sensitive data is being shared in any particular API. Then you isolate high risk flow. For example, if there is a financial data or healthcare data, which generally should be remains on prem rather than on cloud. So you generally use a model like uh, Llama, DeepSeek, Grow on the on-prem server. Then you generally, structure. You need to structure the output, right? So you can have a JSON template with strict schema, which prevents any dangerous creativity which is generated by the generative AI. Because if you have a template, then generative AI will follow that template. Otherwise, it will generally create its own template, which could be dangerous for any particular data serving platform. So the golden rule is that treat AI output as unvalidated user input because the functionality they are. So you need to have those things. Uh, uh, I mean, those things should be validated before it is being exposed to anyone.
All right. And Vivek, our second critical question is that what's your framework for auditing AI systems before deploying them? All right. Thank you for your insight. So that was a nice session. So thank you, Kapil and Vivek, for breaking down the future of AI powered development. Uh, and to our listeners, experiment fearlessly, share what you build, and let's shape this new era together. Thank you. Thank you.